You have what we call the formulation phase, which is you come up with a plan that makes sense. And it's based on probably proof of concept that other people have done before you, that you know, hey, if I do, I'm probably going to get a similar outcome that they're getting if I do these things. That's your formulation phase, right? Concentration phase. You actually have to do the things that which you know you have to do in order for you to get the outcome that you're looking for, right? Well, you have to be in that concentration phase for about 90 days before it becomes more of a habit, right?
Yeah.
But your habits aren't strong yet. So, but you're going to start to see some results, right? So 90 days in, you start getting some results, and all of a sudden things start feeling a little bit better. And it doesn't matter what business you're in, that's going to be the case, right?
Yeah.
Then you start servicing that business, and you begin to stop doing the very things that got you there in the first place,
yeah.
right? And then there's this you never get to a full momentum because you keep on going back and forth from momentum to concentration, momentum to concentration. So what I've learned was help our people stay in momentum for a very long period of time. And what I'm looking for, and this unfortunately takes like 3 to 5 years to do it. So this isn't, everybody's like, oh, that's a bummer. But it does take that long because you have to do this 3, 4, 5,000 times before people finally realize, okay, this has become a part of my identity to do this every day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I don't mean your whole identity has to be, sales or whatever it is you do for a living. What I mean is that it's a part of it where if you didn't go to work today, you'd feel bad. That's when you know it's a part of your identity, right?
Yeah.
For a person that doesn't work very often, when you go to work, you feel bad. It's the opposite, so.
You miss the couch.
Yeah, you miss the couch, right? So you have to get people to the point where it becomes part of their identity, because motivation comes and goes, but your identity doesn't. That part will stick with you. So you have to be around people and encourage them and keep them accountable and help them to stay in that lane and in that zone for as long as they can until you know for sure, like if I wasn't here, they'd still do it. Does that make sense?
I mean, 100%, and it has nothing to do with real estate. This is everywhere.
That's everywhere.
You could be a football coach talking about building a program that's trying to consistently year in, year out, make it in the playoffs and make it to the Super. Why do some organizations year in and year out, and the coach comes and the star quarterback leaves and they lose 4 players, and they might have 1 year where it's like
rebuild a little bit,
they build and then right back at it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Why? Because they have these systems. They have this culture.
Yep.
Right?
Systems and process and momentum and consistency, proof of concept. I mean, half the reasons why those players come in behind those other successful players that have now left, half the reason why they're successful when they come in is because they believe in the program.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it. You got to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah, and I don't think that's industry specific at all.
I
think what you're talking about probably lends itself more to certain arms of industry like sales, because I think sales is, but I can see where it works with programming.
Yeah.
I think it's a larger factor in different arms of the industry, but it is a factor in all of them.
Well, most, with the exception of, again, the government, not in a negative sense, but I mean, because that's more of a servicing experience, but most companies, most businesses have sales.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to be conducting your business or service, right?
Yeah.
So in that regard, I mean, everybody really, all of us have one thing in common. I don't care if you're an attorney, a CPA, financial advisor, stockbroker, real estate agent, insurance person, whatever, it doesn't matter, programmer, marketing person. We are all first lead generators. Mail model. Yeah. We have to lead generate first.
Yeah.
You first have to have customers in which you can offer your product or service to. And if you don't do that part, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're out of business.
Yeah.
So
I want to pivot a little bit because this has become like a business, but I knew it would, because I mean, I know you in, I think, several ways, but one of the big ways is watching you run a successful business. And so, I mean, the conversations you and I have, we have personal conversations, but they usually lean towards real estate and business. And you've helped me and influenced me in my business. Disclaimer, I've taken almost none of your advice. And so I haven't had your level of success.
Nobody does. So
but I was like, oh, that's absolutely great. Never going to, here, let me just put this over here. That'll hold up my
smartest piece of furniture in the office.
Yeah, that's,
right there.
You know what I mean? Is that a Peloton? No, that's a coat rack. So I sold the coat rack, by the way, just because I was like, okay, it was mocking me. That bike was mocking me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I want to pivot a little bit about family, because you do have 4 kids.
Yeah.
And you have 2 that are both of them are out of college now
Yes.
and professionals and working with you.
Yes,
That's
they
pretty
are.
awesome.
It's very awesome.
And then you've got two little ones that are starting the journey, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how's that? The second, you nailed it too. First one's, man, just everything's run by
Dialed in.
we run by the book. You understand? We have SOPs for what, you know, we brush our teeth between 8 and 8:7. And then it's just like because I have the same thing. I have two daughters in college.
Yeah.
And they tell me all the time that I'm not as strict as I am with the two boys. I don't
Sure.
think it has anything to do with gender. I just think you get old and tired, man.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
And when your first kids come, you're so intimidated. I was so intimidated and so scared, you know, and just the first baby was just like she was made from porcelain. And I just, you know, by the fourth one, it was like, where is it? I don't know. I saw him running with some scissors a minute ago. He was around here a minute ago. Was those firecrackers?
They'll probably be fine.
Yeah. You know, how's he going to learn if he doesn't fall and
right.
stab himself? He's not going to learn,
right.
you know what I mean?
You'll only do it once.
How's that, like that second? What is that? Talk personal about some of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm really fortunate. I have an amazing wife of 29 years this year. And so anything I share with you about my joy at home is because of her. And I don't mean that because she's going to probably see this, but it's
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it's just true though. I have an amazing wife and she's an amazing mother. So with the kids, you know, we have two older ones, 26 and 22, Tristan and Taylor. They both went to college. Mom and I told them that they wanted to go into real estate right out of high school, and we told them both no. Said you have to go to college first, get that experience, decide if you want to do anything else other than what mom and dad are doing, and we support you whatever you decide to do. So for parents, if you're interested in having your kids come into the business with you, don't tell them to. You know, we didn't. We told them no. You'd have to wait. And so after the oldest one graduated, she wanted to come into real estate, so she did. And we kept her on the administrative side for a while, and then she moved into sales, and she's doing terrific. My 22-year-old came in, and same thing, graduated from college, and then is now on the administrative side and looking forward to the sales side. So I'm sure she'll be there. And then we adopted two. One's 9, Jacob. We got him when he was a baby. And Juliet, she's 4. We got her when she was a baby. So, you know, we basically started over. So I don't know if you remember, we went on our sailboat and took a little over a year off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was probably a really good idea for us. So our oldest one was away to college. And my other one was in high school at the time, and COVID hit. My little boy was at home with us. Obviously, he was like, I think 4 at the time, 3 at the time. And so when they came home with COVID hitting, we already owned our sailboat in Florida, and we had been vacationing. When we go on vacation, we go and hang out on our sailboat in Florida. And so when COVID hit, I told my wife, I said, honey, I said, we got one chance right now. Both the girls are totally down with spending a lot of time on the sailboat. Why don't we do this? And my wife's like, there's no way. We can't just leave the business. I said, we're just going to tell everybody we're going to retire. Because I wanted to be gone. I was like, I'll be gone for 3 years if my kids will let me. There would be no expiration date to that trip. And so we went to the girls and just said, hey, mom and dad want to do this. What do you think? And of course, everybody was excited about the prospect of doing that. Beats sitting at home during COVID.
Yeah.
So that's why we ended up telling everybody we're retiring, because I honestly didn't know when I'd come back, and I didn't want to overpromise that, hey, we're going to be gone on a sabbatical or something if we didn't know if we were coming back or not. So I told everybody we're retiring, jumped on our boat, took off with our kids, and we just had the most amazing time that I just know for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be so grateful that we did it.
What awesome. And you were gone, what, about 14, 18 months, something like that?
Yeah, it was about a year total.
Okay.
Because the girls, you know, it was hard because Tristan was still online college, so we had to shoot for cell towers up and down the Caribbean.
This is pre-Starlink.
Yeah, pre-Starlink, exactly. But you know what it did was it really fortified the relationships in our family to the extent that, I mean, we have an unbreakable bond that I don't think everybody gets to enjoy as much as we do.
Yeah.
Grateful for it.